Have you ever looked at your life and wondered, why does it have to be so hard? What if I told you that every heartbreak, every disappointment, and every sleepless night wasn't breaking you, but building you? Because life doesn't shape your strength with comfort, it forges it through challenge. So today, I want you to look at your struggle and see what it's truly doing, shaping your strength. Step 1, struggles are not setbacks, they're sculptors. Every human being walking this earth carries their own silent battles, struggles that few ever see. And yet these very struggles are the invisible sculptors shaping our strength, our courage, and our character. When life feels heavy, when the road seems endless, and when every door feels closed, it's easy to label those moments as setbacks. But in truth, they are not holding you back. They are pushing you forward, chiseling away the parts of you that no longer serve your purpose. Life's difficulties are not destroyers. They are divine designers, carving something extraordinary within you. You see, just as a sculptor sees a masterpiece within a rough block of stone, life too sees greatness within you. But to reveal that greatness, life must chip away your fears, your doubts, your complacency. Every hardship becomes a stroke of the sculptor's hand, shaping your strength, refining your patience, and deepening your wisdom. When you go through pain, rejection, or loss, it's not punishment, it's preparation. You are not being weakened, you are being refined. You are not being delayed, you are being developed. Every struggle is a process of becoming more aware, more resilient, more capable than you were yesterday. Think about it, the most beautiful sculptures are born from pressure, precision, and persistence. The stone doesn't choose the hammer, it doesn't enjoy the strike, but every hit, every crack brings out its true form. The same happens with you. The blows you felt in life, the betrayals, the failures, the disappointments, they were never random. Each one had a purpose. Each one was chipping away your rough edges, teaching you humility, endurance, and emotional strength. The person you are today is not a product of ease, but of endurance. Your strength was not gifted. It was earned through the storms you survived. And yet, so many people run from struggle as if it's something to avoid. They wish for comfort, not realizing that comfort breeds stagnation. Growth doesn't come from what's easy, it comes from what tests you. The more life challenges you, the more you discover the depth of your own potential. The sculptor doesn't stop when the stone resists. They keep carving because they know there's beauty beneath the surface. Life, too, doesn't stop shaping you when you resist. It continues until you become who you were meant to be. The process may hurt, but it's never meaningless. So, when life feels hard, don't ask, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is this creating within me? That one shift in mindset transforms struggle into purpose, because every challenge carries a lesson. Every pain hides potential. Every storm is carving you into someone wiser, braver, stronger. The universe is not against you, it's working through you, molding you for the greatness that lies ahead. Every difficulty you endure is shaping your strength, sharpening your character, and preparing you for moments that comfort never could. The struggle is not a punishment, it's the process of transformation. It's the sculptor's touch, shaping something divine within you, something the world has not yet seen but will when the masterpiece is finally revealed. Step 2, faith over fear. There comes a point in every person's life when fear stands tall in front of them, whispering doubts, magnifying uncertainties, and clouding the path ahead. Fear is powerful. It paralyzes the mind and blinds the heart. It makes you question your worth, your strength, and even your purpose. But there is something far more powerful than fear: faith. Faith is not the absence of fear. It's the courage to move forward in spite of it. It's the quiet, unshakable belief that no matter how uncertain things may seem, something greater is guiding you through the storm. When you walk in faith, you no longer see obstacles as endings, but as openings, doors that lead to growth, strength, and wisdom you didn't know you possessed. Faith is not a feeling, it's a decision. It's a choice to believe that even in the dark, there is light ahead. It's the strength to keep moving when everything in you says stop. Fear demands evidence. It waits for proof before it believes. But faith believes first, and the proof follows. It doesn't need to see the whole staircase to take the first step. It trusts that each step will appear when it's time. Life has a way of testing you, of pushing you to the edge, of making you doubt everything you once believed. But that's when faith steps in, quiet, steady, and strong. It reminds you that you are not alone, that every delay, every detour, every disappointment is still working for your good, even when it doesn't make sense right now. When you let fear control you, you shrink your life to fit your comfort zone. You stop dreaming big. You stop taking chances. You stop living fully. Fear keeps you safe, but it also keeps you small. It convinces you that failure is final, that rejection means you're not enough, that pain means you should give up. But faith whispers a different story. Faith says, keep going. Faith says, there's something waiting beyond this challenge. Faith says, you are being prepared, not punished. When you begin to live by faith instead of fear, life opens up in ways you could never imagine. Opportunities appear, strength rises, peace replaces panic. Because faith doesn't just change what you see, it changes how you see. The truth is, every great life ever lived was built on faith. Every success, every breakthrough, every triumph began with someone believing before they could see. People who achieve the impossible are not those without fear. They are those who refuse to let fear decide their future. They choose to believe that there's a reason for the struggle, a purpose in the pain, a plan in the chaos. Faith is that invisible power that steadies your hands when everything feels unstable, that calms your heart when life shakes your foundation. It tells you that the mountain in front of you is not there to stop you, but to strengthen you. It's faith that turns breakdowns into breakthroughs, fear into fuel, and uncertainty into opportunity. When fear says, "What if you fail?" faith answers, "What if you fly?" Step 3, the hidden blessing of difficulty. There are seasons in life when everything feels heavy, when the road ahead looks uncertain, when every step feels like a struggle, and when the weight of the world seems almost unbearable. In those moments, it's easy to see difficulty as a curse, a punishment, or a sign that life is against you. But what if the very things that feel like burdens are actually blessings in disguise? What if every challenge, every heartbreak, every delay is quietly guiding you towards something far greater than you can see right now? Difficulties have a strange way of revealing what comfort hides. They strip away illusion and force you to face truth about who you are, what you value, and what you're capable of becoming. The blessing of difficulty lies not in the pain itself, but in the person it shapes you into. When life tests you, it is not trying to destroy you, it's trying to strengthen you. Every obstacle you overcome becomes proof of your resilience. Every disappointment teaches patience, and every loss deepens your gratitude for what remains. Growth does not happen in ease. It happens in the moments that stretch you beyond what you thought you could handle. The hardest seasons often produce the strongest souls. The very pain you wish would go away is often the tool life uses to mold your character, deepen your empathy, and prepare you for blessings that could never exist without struggle. Think back to the times you were broken, uncertain, or afraid. You didn't see it then, but those moments were shaping you. They taught you how to endure, how to trust, and how to rebuild. If life were always easy, you would never discover your strength, never develop humility, and never learn compassion. Difficulty forces you to dig deep, to discover the power that lies dormant within. It removes the excess, the ego, the noise, until only the real you remains. That's the hidden gift. Difficulty doesn't take from you, it reveals you. It uncovers your endurance, your wisdom, your grace. You begin to see that what once felt like an ending was actually the beginning of something meaningful. And while the blessing may be hidden, it is always there, waiting to be found once you shift your perspective. When you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What is this trying to teach me?" everything changes. The lesson reveals itself. You begin to see purpose in the pain. You realize that the delay taught you patience, the loss taught you appreciation, and the heartbreak taught you self-respect. Life's difficulties are not detours, they are directions. They push you off paths that were too small for your potential and redirect you toward the purpose you were created for. What feels like struggle today may be the very reason you rise tomorrow. There is beauty buried deep within the hard places, a quiet, powerful blessing that only those who endure can ever uncover. Step 4, endurance builds excellence. In a world obsessed with quick results and instant gratification, endurance has become a forgotten virtue. Everyone wants success, but few are willing to go through the long, silent seasons that true excellence demands. Endurance is not glamorous. It's often quiet, lonely, and unseen. Yet, it is in those unseen hours of persistence that greatness is born. Excellence is never built overnight. It's built through years of patience, discipline, and unwavering commitment to keep going, even when progress feels invisible. Endurance teaches you what talent alone cannot: consistency, humility, and the strength to rise each time life knocks you down. It's not about how fast you reach the finish line, it's about how strong you remain during the climb. When everything in you wants to give up, endurance whispers, just one more step. That single step, taken when you are tired, discouraged, and uncertain, is what separates the average from the extraordinary. People often look at success and admire the glory, but they rarely see the grind behind it. The sleepless nights, the rejections, the failures, the self-doubt, those are the silent chapters that shape excellence. Endurance builds mental and emotional muscle. It strengthens your spirit in ways comfort never could. Because every time you endure, you train your mind to focus, your heart to trust, and your body to persevere. You begin to understand that pain is not a signal to stop. It's a sign that you're growing. The truth is, excellence is not achieved by those who never fall. It's achieved by those who refuse to stay down. Every setback becomes a lesson, every delay becomes preparation, and every disappointment becomes fuel. Endurance refines you layer by layer, moment by moment. It teaches patience when results are slow, wisdom when plans change, and resilience when the world doubts you. It reminds you that lasting success is not built on moments of inspiration, but on years of dedication. The greatest artists, athletes, and leaders were not the most gifted. They were the most consistent. They learned to show up when they didn't feel like it. They kept believing when nothing seemed to work. They understood that endurance is not about surviving the process, it's about trusting it. And while the world measures success by speed, life measures it by strength. True excellence cannot be rushed. It matures in the fire of endurance. Each day you persist, you become sharper, steadier, and stronger. You begin to value the journey more than the destination because you realize that who you are becoming is far more important than what you are achieving. Endurance turns pressure into patience, frustration into focus, and struggle into skill. It molds your character until excellence is no longer something you chase. It becomes something you embody. Every challenge you overcome through persistence adds another layer of mastery, another depth of discipline, another degree of greatness. That is how endurance builds excellence, slowly, silently, and powerfully, through every moment you choose to keep going when giving up would be easier. Step 5. Your struggles are proof of movement. When life feels heavy, when everything seems to resist you, it's natural to believe you're stuck or failing. But what if the very struggle you're facing isn't a sign of being stuck? It's a sign that you're moving forward? The truth is, struggle is not proof of weakness, it's proof of motion. The moment you start to grow, life begins to challenge you. Resistance only comes when you move. Just like a plane feels the most wind when it's taking off, you face the greatest opposition when you're rising towards something better. The pain, the pressure, the obstacles, they're not pushing you backward. They're testing your capacity to move higher. Struggle is not your enemy. It's evidence that you're stretching beyond what's familiar and stepping into who you're meant to become. Every step toward progress comes with friction. It's the law of growth. You cannot evolve without effort, and you cannot move forward without discomfort. The very fact that life feels hard right now means you're breaking free from your old patterns, your old fears, and your old limits. Comfort zones are silent prisons. They keep you still, safe, and small. Struggle is what shakes you out of that stillness and reminds you that you're alive. The growing pain you feel is the signal that transformation is taking place. The only people who never struggle are the ones who've stopped trying. So if life feels like a battle, it's not because you're failing. It's because you're fighting for something greater. You're moving, you're growing, you're awakening to a higher version of yourself. Think about the seed that has to break before it becomes a tree. The caterpillar that must struggle through the cocoon before it becomes a butterfly. The athlete whose muscles must tear before they grow stronger. Nature itself proves that struggle is a sign of creation, not destruction. Without resistance, there is no rise. Without difficulty, there is no development. Every hardship you face is building your endurance, sharpening your focus, and expanding your strength. You may not see progress in the moment, but the very act of enduring, of showing up when it's hard, is the greatest proof that you're not standing still. You're in motion. Moving through the pain, moving through the lessons, moving toward your purpose. So instead of cursing your struggle, start recognizing it as evidence of your evolution. Struggle is the universe's way of showing you that you're no longer where you were. You've stepped into a new level that requires a stronger version of you. Each challenge demands more patience, more resilience, more faith. And though the process is often uncomfortable, it's also sacred, because every time you face resistance and keep going, you prove that you're alive, you're growing, and you're still in the game. Your struggles don't mean you're lost. They mean you're moving. They mean you're becoming someone capable of carrying the weight of the blessings that are waiting ahead. Struggle is the heartbeat of progress, the rhythm of transformation, the undeniable sign that you are in motion towards something far greater than where you began. Step 6. The power of perspective. Life is not shaped by what happens to us. It's shaped by how we see what happens to us. Perspective is the lens through which we view our circumstances, and that lens determines whether we feel powerless or powerful. Two people can experience the same challenge. One will see defeat, the other will see opportunity. The difference is not in the event, but in the eye that interprets it. When you shift your perspective, you shift your entire reality. What once felt like an ending begins to look like a new beginning. What once felt like punishment begins to reveal itself as preparation. The power of perspective lies in its quiet ability to turn obstacles into lessons and pain into purpose. Life doesn't change when you complain about what's hard. It changes when you begin to understand why it's hard and what it's trying to teach you. Perspective gives meaning to your struggle. When you're in the middle of a storm, it's easy to believe that everything is falling apart. But if you step back, breathe, and look again, you may see that things are actually falling into place. Every disappointment carries direction. Every delay carries divine timing. Every loss carries a lesson that could never be learned through comfort. It's all about how you choose to see it. The same fire that destroys also purifies. The same pressure that crushes also creates diamonds. Perspective is not about ignoring pain. It's about interpreting it through the eyes of growth rather than defeat. When you train your mind to ask, "What is this teaching me?" instead of "Why is this happening to me?" life begins to transform from chaos into clarity. The truth is, you cannot control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you respond to it. And that response, that inner decision, shapes your destiny. Perspective is what gives you peace in the middle of pain. It's what allows you to smile through uncertainty, to trust even when you don't understand, to believe that something greater is unfolding behind the scenes. When you change your perspective, even the smallest moment can become sacred. The challenge you feared becomes a teacher. The person who hurt you becomes a mirror, showing where healing is needed. The path that confused you becomes the very road that leads you to purpose. That's the miracle of perspective. It turns what once broke you into the very thing that builds you. When you begin to see life through the eyes of gratitude instead of grievance, everything changes. Gratitude widens your vision. It makes you see blessings where you once saw burdens. Suddenly, the closed doors make sense. The detours feel divine. The pain no longer feels like punishment. It feels like preparation for something bigger, something more meaningful. Perspective doesn't change the situation. It changes you within the situation. It teaches you that light and dark coexist, that endings and beginnings are often the same event, and that sometimes the most painful chapters are simply the ones that prepare you for the most powerful ones yet to come. So the next time life tests you, pause and shift your perspective. Don't see the struggle as a wall. See it as a doorway to growth, because how you see your life determines how you live it. Change your view and you'll change your world.